All right. What's up, party people? Welcome back to Journal Party Live. My name is Alex Gallner. I'll be your host for today. We're going to give it a couple minutes to let people start trickling in. We did some advertising for this one, so hopefully we'll get some new members of the Journal Party family. And today is one that I'm really excited about. A lot of times, we release or we sort of tease some of the premium programs in our app, but this one, I think. I felt like it was important to make this one available for free for everyone. So, what we're going to be talking about today, and what we're going to be working through today, is SMART goals. So, if you have been in or around the personal development space for, any length of time post mid 80s, I believe, you've probably heard of this framework before. And the idea behind it is, I guess there's a lot of like airy fairy new age stuff that goes around when it comes to setting your goals, but really it will be helpful if you take a more systematic approach to all of that. And so that's why we're going to be employing the SMART framework, so that we can kind of guide you into a more productive approach with your goals. And so prepared a little bit of a presentation here. I'm not going to bore you guys too long. We'll get into the journaling really soon. But let's just set the tone of today's event. So what is SMART? So the SMART framework was originally developed by George T. Duran back in 1981. So I guess it was the early 80s. He was a consultant and a director of corporate planning, and he introduced this framework to help people set goals that are not just wishful thinking, but are actually achievable. And over the years, this framework has been widely adopted in various fields, from project management to personal development. Now, let this next slide load. So what does SMART stand for? You probably already know this, but in case you need a little bit of a refresher, the S stands for specific. We're zoning in, or zeroing in, as I wrote, in on goals that are clear and well-defined. So there's no room for vagueness here. We want to be as specific as possible. The M stands for measurable. So we'll talk about how to set key performance indicators so that you'll know when you've hit your goal. Achievable. That's the A. We're all about setting goals that are challenging yet realistic. So you want to stretch yourself, but not snap. If you don't believe it, it's probably not going to happen. The R stands for relevant, and your goals should be in line with your life's mission and long-term objectives. So, that should be a pretty easy one to get to. But we want to make sure that you're staying in alignment with who you are and your overall vision. And we'll explore how to make sure to do that. And the last one is T, time bound. That is I guess the popular saying is that a goal without a deadline is just a wish. So we're going to make sure that you have a deadline on that goal, and that will also I guess that falls in line with measurable as well, right? So we have to be able to know when we've hit our goals so that we can know when to move on or retool or whatever. So with that said, let's let this last slide load. Today we're going to be working through 5 journal prompts, one for each letter in the word SMART, to help you set goals that you can not only achieve, but absolutely crush. So everyone go ahead, grab your journal, get comfy, light a candle, get some tea, do what you got to do, and let's make some magic happen. Now, one thing I want to call out here is that while this framework is useful in setting numerous goals, this program was designed to work through one specific goal. So take a moment to think about what it is that you're working on, what it is that you're working towards, and select a single goal to work on through this. You can always go back into the Journal Party app and go through this whenever you like. If you don't have the app, go ahead, scan that QR code, or you can visit journalparty.com and find an easy download link there. It's available on the Apple App Store and Google Play. And like I said, this program is entirely free. So anytime you're feeling like you want to work through a goal, this is going to be a real easy way to focus in on that and get it done. So let me take down this QR code, and we'll go ahead and put up the program here. All right, so this is what it looks like inside the app. If you're not familiar, I know we have some newbies on today, but basically the way that we set Journal Party up is we use something called journal prompt playlists. And so the idea is that, I'm sure most people on this call have probably experienced journal prompts before. It's not something that we invented, but we've come up with a pretty cool way of presenting it, and it's kind of like a music player if you've ever used something like that, and that's why we call it a playlist. And it's going to give you a certain amount of time. In this case, we've set 5 minutes for each one of these prompts, and so after the 5 minutes, it'll chirp, and then we'll move on to the next prompt. I'll read it out for you all, and of course, if you have the app, you can go at your own pace. So there's player controls, like I said. You can pause, you can skip, you can rewind, do whatever you need to do. Journaling, there's not a wrong way to do it. So do what works for you. But for the sake of this call, we're going to abide by the 5 minutes per prompt. And all right. So if you're just getting in here, say what's up in the chat. I'm going to put the ticker live here, so the folks that are coming in a little bit later know what's going on and what to do. But it's pretty simple. We have a thing that we like to say here called just start writing. So in a couple seconds, that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to click the start now button, and we're going to get rocking with some SMART goals. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here we go. First prompt of the day. Specific. What is one specific goal you want to achieve? Describe it in detail, outlining what success looks like. So just start writing. All right, I was typing in the chat. I almost missed it. The second one is measurable. So, how will you know you've achieved this goal? What metrics or signs will indicate success? All right, let's wrap that one up. Here comes Achievable. Is this goal realistic with the time and resources that you have? List any obstacles you foresee and how you plan to overcome them. All right, we got a few more people joining us. Welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, we're on relevant, so the second to last one in the SMART framework. And the prompt for this one is, why is this goal important to you right now? How does it align with your long-term objectives or values? Trying to keep you on purpose here. All right, wrap this one up. Here comes your last prompt of the day. This one is time bound. By what date do you aim to achieve this goal? Break down the timeline into smaller milestones if applicable. All right, we did it. I just had to finish that last sentence there. One thing I didn't include in this playlist here, which I think would be useful for everybody, especially having worked through all of this, is to go ahead and rephrase your goal with all of this in mind. Make sure that it includes, the specificity, that it's measurable, achievable, relevant, and also include the due date on there, that time bound part. I think being able to concisely express your goals in that way is probably equally as important, because one of the things that I would highly recommend is that you use that as sort of an affirmation. And, pro tip for all the people who are into creating their own reality and circumstances and stuff like that. I would also suggest phrasing it in the present tense, as if it's already been accomplished. Try to get in touch with the feeling state of what it would be like to actually have achieved this goal. And that's about as woo-woo as we'll get on today's call. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope everyone got something out of this. Anybody feel brave enough to share their goals in the chat? We got a few people on here, so I'm curious if there's anything anybody wants to share. Give it a few seconds. No, I don't think so. That's a-okay. One of the things that I'm aware of is that with journaling, it's not always super fun to share what you wrote. And so, that's one thing with Journal Party will never be required. You'll never be required to share what you write, but please do share your insights if you come across them, because those little golden nuggets of wisdom can often elevate other people. And, even by phrasing that sort of thing, you can get more in touch with it. Okay, Yashira says her goal is to get healthier. Amen. That's always a good one. One of the things that I'm working on this year is kind of reframing everything through the lens of health. I think as a strapping young lad, it was really easy for me to focus primarily on growth and wealth and things like that. And not that I'm old, but getting up there in the later 30s at this point, and life changes at that point, and I'm starting to realize that by all the money in the world, all these things that we wish for and hope for and strive for are no good if you can't if you're not healthy enough to enjoy them. So I can echo your sentiment there, Yashira. And all right, what else we got here? Thinking about a book. Oh, that's awesome. Haven't put anything down into inky words. Well, hopefully that was part of the goal, getting something tangible that you can look at and be proud of. Milestones. We just released the 50th episode of the Journal Party podcast, and we talk about milestones. And I think maybe that would be worth a listen, because then you could establish some of the milestones for your book, or get in touch with what it's like to hit certain milestones, and that could give you a little bit of momentum there for that one, Maria. All right, Abby says to own a tiny home. Those are so cool. Yeah, I've never actually been in one, but I've seen them all the time. One of the things that I really want to do is, have you seen those things where you can rent a tiny home in the middle of the woods just for a weekend or something, like tiny cabins in the woods? Definitely want to do that one. That's on the bucket list. All right, we got a couple more people just saying, all right, newbies, great goals, loving it. Hey, what's up, Linda? Good to see you again. All right, yeah, so that's awesome. At the risk of my girlfriend being on this and finding out what my goal is, I'm gonna share it with everybody. So I've been with girl Alex. That's what I call her, because her name's Alex too. She's my girlfriend of almost 6 years at this point, and so I have a goal to make that a little bit more official. So won't include the time bound on there, because got to keep it a surprise. But that is my primary goal, and it's so hopefully Journal Party does really well, and we can get her a nice big rock, and then we'll have her handle all the retreat stuff, because she's better at party planning than me. Which, by the way, we're gonna do. The Journal Party's been growing more and more every week, and so one of the things that I had imagined just as kind of like a distant goal when we first started this thing was to do retreats, and as people that come into as more and more people come into the group, I'm seeing that there is a little bit of interest in doing that. So hopefully we'll get to put together a nice retreat. We can all hang out in person. The other thing is, as these things get bigger, I know right now it's just everybody in the chat staring at me, but I would love to turn this into more of like a Zoom sort of format. I got to figure out what the tech looks like for that. So, all of these are like sub goals, right? In the big world moving goal that I had just mentioned earlier. But that's certainly a part of it. I think, one of the next iterations of this whole thing will be for all of us to kind of, be able to like chat a little bit and see each other's faces. And of course, like I said, it'll be really cool when we can all meet up in person. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. This one, was only 5 questions this time. Let me know how you like that format. Usually, a lot of times we do 10 questions on these because we're doing the premium programs, which I make a little bit more, a little bit longer. Although we had 5 minutes for each prompt on this one. So let me know if you felt like you had a little bit of hang time there, or if it was just right, or what's going on, because I take your feedback very seriously and really want to make the best experience for everybody. So let me know how you found everything. And I hope to see you on the next one. So if you're not already in our Facebook group, please go ahead and join that. Let me put the QR code up there. Let me take down the SMART goals there. And if you're on your desktop, you can scan that. Otherwise, you can go to Facebook and just search for the Journal Party Facebook group. Get in there, because that's going to be one of the best ways to keep in touch and find out when we're doing all of these. And it's primarily for pen to paper journalers. I haven't seen too many the digital folks come in, but my intention is to have Journal Party be more of a written journaler sort of thing. So if that's what you're into, definitely hop into that group. And the other thing that I wanted to call out, especially since we've got a lot of newbies here, if you're just getting into journaling and maybe you've journaled or attempted to journal before and failed, consistency is consistently one of the things that we hear is like the biggest problem with journaling. And there's routines have been pretty well studied, and so we've leveraged a little bit of the things that we've learned from different cognitive sciences to put together a really cool program called the 7-Day Daily Journaling Challenge. And unlike these guided journal programs that we've been doing live with the app looking countdowns, I actually made this program with some soundscapes and audio in the back, and like nature scenes and things like that, to kind of put you in a nice Zen state. And we work through just 7 days of journaling, minimum of 5 minutes per day. And of course, you can challenge yourself and go further, but it's a really great primer to just establish this as a daily habit. And, as someone who's had this habit for, close to 25 years now, pretty regularly. Obviously there's been seasons where things get a little different, but it's just been kind of like a best friend for me, or one of the things I call it is like a workshop of the mind. It's just so excellent to have tools to handle all the stuff that's going on in your mind. If you're like me, I have a tendency to overthink things a lot, and there's a lot, my mind's very active, and so that can be awesome because you can come up with, really great ideas, but without a sort of focus, it can become really overwhelming. And so it's really good for shaking out what I like to call head garbage. It's just, you get it out on paper, it becomes something else, and you can deal with it when you're supposed to, but it's kind of like refreshing the RAM on your computer. When you got too many browser tabs open, you can't do anything, but you start over, you clear it out, and then you feel better, and you're a more effective human being. So that's my spiel. That's all we're going to cover today. And so thank you so much for being a part of this. I hope to see you all next week. Drop me a line in the Facebook group. Let me know if you have any ideas for topics you want to see covered, and get that app. And I don't think I have anything else for you. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'll see you all next week. Party on.